This is the ongoing video set to describe the Picaxe based water and damp sensor. Today we're going to be looking at the web service. We'll see the web service and the monitoring application, and this is based upon a Microsoft Windows platform. What does this do? It essentially takes the XML data stream across this interface here, presents it, then the mobile interface is here, then present that to these two browsers, and essentially the monitoring application ensures that the web service is running. If it doesn't, it raises alerts in the error log. This is done through Visual Scripting, and then it also sends out email alerts via TCP/IP to the mail server so that we can receive alerts on our PDAs and Blackberries. So what we'll do is we'll fire up the monitoring application. It will then check the web service is operational. It will then start to consume data that's coming across this serial line and interface, TCP/IP interface, and then we'll see it working. We will also see the web browser working because the web browser has been used locally to raise alerts. It's actually running. It uses that to present some of the information. So you'll see it pop up because we have a wet alert, and that's all coming from the Visual Basic script. And essentially, in the next few seconds, once I start the script up, it will determine that the web service is not operational. It will fire it up. It will then determine it's wet because it is wet. It will then fire up the browser. After a few moments, it will say it is very wet. It will then fire out an email. And this is all going to happen pretty quickly because this is a computer. So we'll see what happens. But we have got a data stream coming down from up from the Picaxe, and we'll see that come through. So hopefully it fires up. We have the log in front of us now. We can see that log, and it is saying that it is running. We have it running. I'll try and keep that there, but it will jump about. So this is the log. This is part of the Visual Basic monitoring application. It is running a script, a very large script, obviously. It's all very old. None of this was uniquely created for this program. I've had this for 10 years. I was crowing about Visual Basic scripting when I worked in America many years ago, saying the benefits of it. And what this is doing, it is essentially consuming the data from the web service, and we can see in the background it's popping away. We'll let that run because I think it's worth letting that run without looking at the XML data stream. We can see it's making decisions and clarifications through this dialog box. Again, this dialog box is optional. You don't need that. I just have it. It's something that's a very long time. It's very old. A very useful way of presenting scripting information. We can see that this is believed it's got a wet count of 4, and what it does, a wet count of 7, it's confirmed it's wet. That the score is greater than a particular number. That is greater than 25. Anything greater than 25, I think you'll find that that's wet. If you put this device on your tongue at 25, it's pretty wet. It will then, it was incrementing away, and in a moment it will send out an email, and we'll see it send out an email in this dialog box. And there we go. Here we go. Up that line there, it sent an email. So that sent an email. I will turn my PDA on over here. There is my PDA turned on over there, and we'll hear that pop up in the background when we get a wet alert. Okay, so what else is happening? So now this monitoring application is running away, and it's just going to tinker away now. It's continually running in the background, pretty low. It's actually a very low. It's not a high processor load, so I can shut that down, but it will keep popping back up. So, okay, so what's going on over here? Oh, I have a little error. So it's not an error; it's just a dialog box left over from the previous runs. Let's have a look at the actual XML data stream. This is the XML data stream that is being consumed via TCP/IP. This is coming in, therefore, over the serial line through the virtualized serial port to TCP/IP, and then this web service is consuming it and presenting it here. The web server is then taking this information, and when a browser makes a functional call to it, it then presents this in a particular manner through the JavaScript as a web page, which we've seen before. And I can open that up on this machine, but I won't. So this is the data stream. These are XML data values coming up. I can then put those inside any browser, and because XML is supported in any browser, I can then make value calls. I can then say, give me the attribute of V1. I don't have to have any great programming skills. So all the scripts I've written and the pages I've written are all reusable, because I can just essentially say, give me the value of V1, and it will return the value 97, 113, for instance. If I ask for the H1, and H1 is the high value, what's the highest value you've seen of this device? It's 124. So you can see it's streaming away. And if I send some commands to the Picaxe, I will do that on this. I have another PDA in my hand here ready for this demonstration. I'm going to send a reboot command to the Picaxe. If I did it on the screen in front of you, it would only confuse the matter, I believe. So what I'll do is I'm actually going to send a reset command. I'll send a mute command to start with. And you'll see a mute command come up. If you look at M1, M1 is 1. And that tells me that that is the value of the mute setting in the Picaxe. So I can essentially extend the schema very easily. I don't have to worry about the schema model, because XML allows me to put more data in. So this one I put the value of the mute in. I said M1, which is the mute one. It has a value, and I've just put it back. You've just seen here it was at 1. I then muted it, and it went back to 1 when I've reset it. If I reset the Picaxe, I'm sending it from another PDA, we'll see that the Picaxe will then stream out a series of commands, again XML, which then can be consumed by the web browsers. Have a look what I've done. Did I send a reset command? A reset command. There we go. Picaxe is booting. You can see this is still XML, and if a web browser was looking at it at this particular moment in time, it would then be quite adequate, because it's still within the XML schema. I'm getting other values coming down. You can see that this schema has been designed. You don't have to have all the data, because it is XML. You can take this string and put that in any XML parser on the web, and it will say it's a valid string. So what else happens? So here we have it's running. If I shut this down, or essentially it crashes. The monitoring application over here will restart it automatically, because it does need it to be operational. It does. So it's a very simple. It checks a series of processes to ensure it's running. I can actually hang this. If I hang this, essentially, if I get a bad data stream out, which is unusual, I've never seen it, but if I do hang this, and I have had a hang in it, the application, because it's talking to it itself, this monitoring application is talking to it. If it doesn't get a data stream or XML returned value, it shuts the application down and restarts it. So essentially what we're seeing here is the web service. The web server is built into this application, which is running here. Oh, and there we go. I think that's my email alert. Let me just check. Yep, that's my email alert saying it's wet, which is fantastic, because it's just come through the ether. So that took a few seconds to come through, but it's not local. That's through a major web service, and actually out through work. So that's what I built a couple of weeks ago. And I'll put this code up eventually, and that's about it. Any questions, let me know.